Hey ho, Lori here at Freedom Within. Thanks loads for joining me again today. I am doing a bit of a series of YouTube videos right now to demystify TRE, grounding, going inward, and our nervous system, because these are so key to going from being in the world knowing many things and doing many things for ourselves to actually integrating it, to actually embodying it, to actually living it, to actually being able to feel it and actually make changes that bring us long-lasting, true results. If you don't know what TRE is yet, make sure you check out my video, What is TRE? And make sure you subscribe to my channel here so that you can get notified of upcoming videos that I'm preparing now, all in an effort to demystify this, and most importantly, to talk about a how, the practicality, and the how to actually take what we all know already that's been really useful, but take it to a whole other level of evolution. Okay, today we're going to focus on self-regulation or regulation. So first of all, we're going to talk about what it is, then we're going to talk about why is it so important, and we're going to talk about how we can practice doing it. So the first thing to recognize is that we are innately designed to regulate. Our whole nervous system, our brain stem, our automatic brain here, runs everything about our nervous system. And it runs everything, runs the show for us. There's not a whole lot of really important body systems that can run without this automatic brain. And so we can really trust it. It makes us breathe, it makes our heart beat. But we have this great big neocortex that's kind of taken over. And so we can really start to trust that we are innately designed for this nervous system to actually bring us up when we're threatened and come back down whenever the threat is over. But as humans, we're really socially conditioned to the point where there's no question for us that we really just keep everything inside, even our natural shaking mechanism, which is what TRE helps us reactivate. So you can know that you already innately know how to regulate, but we need to relearn how to do that because it's been shut off along with all of the conditioning on how we're supposed to be in the world. I'm going to share a graph now. And this graph is actually the polyvagal curve. Polyvagal curve was actually invented by Dr. Stephen Porges, invented the polyvagal theory, which is an amazing explanation of the nervous system that really helps us, first of all, understand human behavior. Once we understand how the nervous system works, and we're going to take that to a whole other level of getting you to get acquainted with your own nervous system. So with the knowledge here and getting acquainted with your own nervous system is so important. The polyvagal curve also gives us a language, which is amazing, to start to talk about our nervous system and start to really see how it plays out in our every moment of our life. So Dr. David Berceli, when he learned, he's the founder of TRE, and when he learned about this polyvagal curve by Dr. Stephen Porges, he quickly adopted it and began to make sure that all us TRE certification trainers and TRE providers are really well versed in this polyvagal curve because it's brilliant. It's just brilliant, as you'll see. So whenever we're looking at this curve, we actually, here at Freedom Within, we put a scale next to it because we feel that getting acquainted with our own nervous system is so important. So as I'm going through explaining this curve, you can actually take a moment to figure out what number you might feel that you're at in your nervous system now. When we are down here and grounded, we're feeling really connected to ourselves. We're feeling very open. We're feeling very mindful. We have loads of compassion for ourselves, for others. Nothing really can piss us off when we're in this state. We're also very curious. This is where we feel safe enough to be curious. And also we are engaged and alert. Okay, key words here. Relaxed, calm, chill, content, engaged, and alert. So that's on 3 levels, depending how grounded we feel we are. And by the way, when we are grounded, we're aware of our physical bodies, our emotions, our thoughts, but it's without judgment or analysis. That is very, very different than having that voice come in as soon as you notice anything. Oh, that shouldn't be happening. I'm not enough, and I should be able to do that better, and this means this, and whatever. No, that's without judgment or analysis. Otherwise, that is not from a grounded place. Then things happen in our life and we might start to move up this arousal curve here. So a threat has come in, either to our ego identity. Somebody said something that made us feel, bad about ourselves, or that we might be rejected or something, or a threat to our physical bodies. We're feeling nervous with somebody around us that they might hurt us, or we might have heard a loud noise outside. So some of these threats are for the physical body too. And you start moving up in the red zone here, called the sympathetic nervous system. This is kind of your speed up system that starts to protect you. And so low level, smaller threat for you, because threats are different for everybody depending on our history. But for you, let's say it's a mild threat, you might just be up in a bit of concern, a bit of worry, or maybe if it's more on this side, a bit of frustration or irritation. Next thing you know, you're getting up to 5 and 6. So 5 and 6 is anxiety, fear, anger. So it's getting a bit stronger. The threat's a bit more serious. When we're up here, 6 to 7, we're way up here just below the dotted line, which is the overwhelm line. And that's where panic and rage are. So that's an out of control feeling. This is where we do stuff and after, like, whoa, what just happened? Okay, it feels very uncontrollable. We feel and we're not very aware of what we are doing. At a certain point, your nervous system crosses this actual dotted line into what's called freeze, or coined by Dr. Porges, dorsal-vagal. And so a mild dorsal-vagal state would be a bit of daydreaming. So our nervous system has just kind of cut off a bit our connection to our physical sensations, if it's physical pain that we have, or emotional pain, or thoughts, memories, flashbacks. So the nervous system is right there to help us out, and it disconnects us a bit into a form of dissociation. Maybe really mild at 8, which is just kind of your mind being somewhere else. You're still functional, you're still doing things, but you're not quite here, so present. Okay, and then it moves up and starts to get into more serious numbness, really deep dissociation, maybe even a physical immobility freeze that would be up in your 10. So remember, this is the nervous system that is managing all of this, and it goes up and down every day, all day, every time there's some kind of threat. Now, because we've learned to hold everything in, what happens is we just keep accumulating things in our nervous system, carrying it around with us, carrying it around with us. It's just become normal. And most of the planet now, I believe, lives very high up here, either in a bit of disconnection, just going through the moves of life because it's just been too much, or the nervous system is keeping us up here, kind of in a fight and flight. What next? What's next? What's next? Okay, we're looking for drama. We're looking for adrenaline. We're really feeling that things around us that maybe are actually safe are actually appearing not safe. Somebody says something, they don't really mean anything by it, but whoa, we take it as a real threat because we're already starting from a pretty high place in our nervous system. So maybe now just take a moment to feel into where you are right now in your nervous system, what number. just as I'm talking here, because this is something that I will do another video on grounding and all kinds of videos coming, but for today, just regulation. The reason why I'm suggesting to you to figure out your number of grounding is because that's how we begin to regulate. So let's say right now I was a bit concerned and worried. I was at a number 4, so I'm concerned how this video is going to go, if my Wi-Fi might go down, so I can't quite come down and feel really open and safe. So I'm at a 4. Then something happens. Maybe somebody busts my door open here, and it really startles me, and I go directly into a 7. Because I've had some kind of experience before where somebody stormed in on me and something's happened. So let's say that's a real threat to me. What regulation is actually starting to notice the signs of going up. So maybe I'll give another example. It might be that today I've listed 10 things that I want to do. And whenever I start my day, I'm just here at frustration, concern that I may not get it all done. And throughout the day, my body is giving me small signs. Not only my body, but my emotions, my thinking is giving me small signs that I'm moving up the curve. And I'm not listening because we're so used to, this is my list, this is what I'm doing, and we're not listening to how our nervous system is talking to us, telling us we're on the way up. We totally ignore it without knowing, and we just keep pushing through the day, pushing through the day. Next thing you know, by the end of the day or late afternoon, we are maybe not at 7, maybe here at 6. We're in such anger or such fear and such anxiety that it's so hard to calm our mind now and to actually come down because we've allowed ourselves to go all the way up there. That's normal. That's how we live today. That we're so living high in our nervous systems, we don't necessarily notice how the early signs come. So that's what regulation is. Regulation is noticing, in this example during the day, oh, I just went to a 5. I was having a bit of concern, but now it's real worry, and I'm noticing that my shoulders are now up and my neck is getting really tight. And I'm noticing that I'm twitching my leg now underneath the table. Or I'm feeling like I'm clenching my jaw a little bit. Or I can tell my thoughts are getting a bit negative and I'm having less and less confidence in what I'm doing here today. Or maybe I'm starting to get really hot, maybe some prickly heat. These are all signs and indicators that our nervous system is getting activated. So regulation means creating enough space in our moments by doing a practice like TRE to release years and years of built up tension that keeps us so up there in our nervous system, so that we start to notice how our nervous system talks to us, how it actually lets us know that we're at a 5, we're at a 6. When we start to notice that, I will do another video on how to ground and what to do, but we need to break it up. It's really hard to break that cycle. We've been doing it all our lives, but that's the how that I want to share with you, because we can do this, and it's all about choice. When we start to do that, then it's very quick to come back down to our 3, or maybe even a 4 or 3. So we recuperate much quicker because we noticed much quicker. And over time, we really start to watch this more and more and more clearly, to the point that I hope, like myself in our TRE community here, our Freedom Within community, that it just becomes, just like we said, we see life through that flu I talked about in the beginning, we see life through this polyvagal curve by Dr. Stephen Porges, because our nervous system is running the show, which will be for another video coming up. So if it's running the show and we're really getting acquainted with it, then we really start to get in the driver's seat. We don't feel like things are just happening to us and we're just kind of going through life and we hope that trauma and tension and anything doesn't come to us. Well, hello. Tension, trauma, stress is going to continue to come forever. That's not going to stop. We can't change that. What we can change is us recognizing what are our triggers that tend to bring us up this curve. What are our signs that we're starting to move up? What are the signs that I'm calm and relaxed, but up here, not down here? Because it's more of a loss of energy. I just want to sleep, or I'm drowsy, or it's a bit of a shutdown compared to being grounded here. So that's what regulation is. And that's why when you start to do TRE in the beginning, it's quite important to actually do it with a provider, a certified provider. Because wherever we're living on that curve I just showed you, this is life for us. We don't know what another level of grounding feels or looks like yet. It doesn't exist for us. Once we tap down into it, then, it's a whole new view of life. We're in life at a whole different level. And so it's so automatic, you're not going to notice, perhaps, some of these defense mechanisms, these signs that come up to show that you're going up the curve. But if you have someone who's done all kinds of TRE, grounding, self-regulation for themselves, sitting with you, holding space with you, which just means no judgment, just allowing whatever needs to happen, and to point out for you what they're noticing and seeing what you're noticing, all of a sudden you're going to start noticing these things on your own. So congratulations, you've just gone from co-regulation, somebody pointing it out to you, to self-regulation. You learn to do this on your mat when you're doing TRE. You can't help but be doing this in life now. So you're now going through life in a much more awakened place, much more aware. And then that just continues to deepen and deepen and deepen. That never stops. I've been doing TRE now for 12 years, and it just continues to show me more and more, because I'm doing this amazing grounding practice. It's a real focus here at Freedom Within, because it's a real focus for me and our team. So you use those two things together, and it's amazing. Once you learn how to self-regulate, then you really benefit from your TRE. Otherwise, you're going to do TRE from a place of dysregulation, because that's all you know. All we know is life based on where we are on that curve now. So if I'm someone that tends to push through, that's how I'm going to do TRE. I'm not going to notice that, whoa, I'm way up there in the curve. I'm actually disconnected, in a bit of euphoria, having a great time, thinking I'm grounded. If you're that high in your nervous system, you can't release so much, because you're in protection mode. So if you're in protection mode and everything's shutting down, you're not going to release as much. That if you learn how to do TRE with a provider who actually does their own self-regulation and grounding, and they take it seriously and really integrate it and embody it, then they're going to be able to help you notice, I just went. That's okay, nothing wrong with that. Now I know, I'll just make a choice to ground. And then once you learn how to do that, then you can do, lots of TRE on your own without having to worry that you're going to do it from a place maybe that you're adding on more stress, or you're just a bit disconnected and maybe not benefiting as much as you would like. Plus, it gives you all these amazing changes in your life. So imagine if those situations that come up now that kind of get you up there, that doesn't happen as much, and you have more space in that moment to tell the person or whatever's happening, you need a moment, and you don't go into that same cycle that brings the same results over and over again. All right, I'm going to stop there. Lots more videos to come. Make sure you subscribe so that you know that they're coming. If you want to join us for a free online TRE class, make sure that you look at the two sites that I'll list below. Our Facebook page and our website both have the events there listed with dates, and we would love to welcome you, even if you've done TRE lots. I always recommend that you do it with someone different. We all have different approaches, and hopefully you'll hear or feel something that will take you to another level and of evolution. Thanks for being here. Love doing this. Thank you for the opportunity. Have a great, great, great day. Bye-bye from Chiang Mai, Thailand.